Hello guys, and in this video you will learn how to build and implement pagination in your React projects. So this is what we're gonna build. So here we dynamically display the data when we click a certain button. So as you can see, I have made some preparations for you to save your time. So here using useEffect, I make an API call to this JSON placeholder API. So here I fetch 50 posts. I set its limit to be 50, and then I take this data and set it to this data array. And also I have created this container with a title using Tailwind CSS. So take a look at how everything looks like right now. That's it. Now we need to create a state, so it will be current page. And by default, our current page will be 1. So it's sensible, right? And now we need to understand how many items we want to display per one page. So let's say items per page, and let's say it will be 5. So at each page, we will show only 5 items. Now we need to understand how many pages in total we will have. So dependent on that, we will show the number of our pages. So let's say total pages, and then we need to say math.ceil function. And here we need to say data.length. We need to divide it by items per page. So math.ceil function rounds up a number. For example, if we have a number which is 2.2, this function will round it up to 3. So this is how this function works. And we can already say how many pages we will have. So we can say what our total pages will be equal to, because our data.length will be 50. And we divide it by 5 because items per page will be 5. So we already know that we will have 10 pages. Okay, now we need to understand what data exactly we want to display on a certain page. For that, we need to say current data. And for that, I will use slice function. Don't worry, I will explain everything to you in detail. Just watch it and try to understand it yourself first, and then I will explain everything to you in detail. So here we need to say data.slice. So the first parameter will be current page minus 1, and we need to multiply it by items per page. The second parameter will be current page, and we need to multiply it by items per page. Let me explain it to you in detail. So this slice function returns a copy of an array. The first parameter, which is a starting index, it is inclusive. And the second parameter, which is exclusive, is an ending index. So let me explain it to you in detail. So let me explain everything to you in detail. So as you can see, this is our formula. And for example, I took this data, which represents these letters. And in this particular case, items per page will be 3, and current page, let's say, will be 2. So let's take this data and put it in this formula. So if our current page is 2, we need to say 2 minus 1, it will be 1, and 1 we should multiply it by 3. So the first index, the starting index, which is inclusive, will be 3. And the second index will be 2 multiplied by 3, it will be 6. So let's define these indexes here. Keep in mind that indexes are 0 based in JavaScript. So let's count 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. And as I have already said, the last index is exclusive, meaning that we will not take this letter, but we will take these 3 letters. This is how slice function works. And if sometimes you can't understand how many items you will take eventually using this slice function, you can take an ending index and distract from it a starting index. And the number you will get will represent how many items you will take. So let's say that my ending index is 9 and my starting index is 4. So it means that in total, I will have 5 items. So this is how this slice function works. And to explain these things even better, let's say that now our current page will be 1. What will we have if our current page is 1? So here is what happens. So 1 minus 1 will be 0. 0 multiplied by 3, it will be 0. So it means that our first index, our starting index will be 0. And now our current page is 1, it's still 1. And we need to say 1, we should multiply it by 3, and it will be 3. It means that our ending index will be 3. So it is already here. And since our last index is exclusive, we will not take this letter, but we will take these first 3 letters. So it will be for the first page, and it will be for the second page. And in this case, this part will be for the third page. So that's the idea. That's why we use this slice function, and that's why we created this variable called current data. We created it in order to understand what data we need to show at a certain page. I think that everything is clear to you now. If you still have some questions, feel free to write your questions in the comments, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. So let's get back to the code. Okay, now we can create an unordered list and try to display the data that will be on the first page. So let's do it. We need to see current data dot map. It will be item. And here we need to create an li tag, and we shouldn't forget to write key since it's essential for React. So we need to say item.id since each post has a unique ID. And here let's say item.title. Let's save it and see what we have. So as you can see, here we have 5 items per page. And currently this page is our first page. Now let's add some styles. It's a bit better. Now it's time to create our pagination. For that, let's create a new component called pagination. So let's render it inside this div. So let's import it. And here we need to pass down total pages, current page, and on page change. And here we need to say set current page. So we use this on page change function to handle pagination dynamically. So when a user clicks a page number, the app updates the current page and displays new data. So let's save it. So inside this pagination component, let's destructure total pages, current page, and on page change function. Now we can say const pages, and we can say the following. Again, I will explain everything in detail. What does it mean? So we say array.from, and then we write length, which in this case is 10. So it will create an array with 10 empty slots. Then we use the second argument, which is mapping function, to fill the array. Here, as you can see, underscore is ignored. It represents the empty value. I is the index of each element, zero-based index. And then we use I plus 1 to turn, we just turn 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and so on. So by doing this, we just create our pages. Now let's create our buttons and our pages. So this button will be previous button. Then let's create next button and a page. For that, we can say pages.map. Here we will also create a button, and each button should have a unique key, which in this case will be page, since all of our pages are unique. Then on click, we should say on page change, we should say page. So when we click a certain page, for example, if I click 6, then our current page will be 6. If I click 2, then our current page will be 2. So that's why we do it. And here, of course, we need to say page. So let's save it and see what we have. As you can see, here are our buttons. So let's add some functionality and style. So for the previous button, I will say on click, on page change, I need to say current page -1. And this button will be disabled if current page is 1. So if we are on the first page, there is no way to go to the previous page because we are already on the very first page. So that's why it will be disabled. So let's add some classes. Let's say margin horizontally will be 1, padding horizontally will be 3, padding vertically will be 1, it will be rounded, background color will be orange 600, and when disabled, we need to see opacity will be 50. So let's save it. Let's copy these styles and apply it for this button, for this next button as well. And on click, we need to see current page plus 1, but this button will be disabled if current page is equal to total pages. So let's see what we have. So now, as you know, we are on the first page. So I will click this next button. And as you can see, the data have changed. It means that everything seems to be working. Now let's click this second page, this third page. And as you can see, everything is working properly. Now we need to add some styles. So let's add some styles. We need to use curly braces and backsticks since some of our styles will be conditionally applied. So for now, let's copy these styles and put it here, and let's make it rounded full. And now, if our current page is equal to this page, I need to say that background color will be blue 600. And if it's not the case, background color will be orange 600. Okay. And for this div, let's say flex, justify will be center, and let's add some margin from top. And also, let's say items will be center. So let's save it and see what we have. So let's click this button, and so on. As you can see, everything is working properly. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more useful videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you.